I told you so. I I told you guys Night of Champions was gonna be the end of the Bloodline. Night of Champions was indeed the end of the Bloodline, okay? As I'm recording this, we are like not even 30 minutes after the end of Night of Champions. And the main event was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens defending the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. And if you've seen my videos, okay, specifically my video where I talked about Roman Reigns possibly being a quadruple champion, and I talked about this match specifically, I predicted that it was going to be the end of the Bloodline, that it was going to be the perfect opportunity for WWE to send this storyline to the moon and have the Usos or one of the Usos turn on Roman Reigns, and then you can start a whole rivalry for the Bloodline that is going to last the whole summer. Now, spoiler alert, okay, if you haven't seen Night of Champions, go check it, go check the results, whatever, and then come back to this video. Main event, okay, for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa make their entrances, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens make their entrances, there's the whole introduction, Paul Heyman introduces Reigns and Sikoa, Sami Zayn speaks in Arabic, I don't know, like, the actual name of the language, but, you know, language that is being spoken in Saudi Arabia. May I remind you, this show was held in Saudi Arabia. It introduces himself and Kevin Owens. Okay, match starts, a lot of teasing, blah, blah, blah. The match goes on, great moves. It was honestly a great match overall, okay? We get towards the end of the match, okay? Roman Reigns is pissed, okay? And he goes for a spear on Sami Zayn, okay? The referee is just behind Sami Zayn. You can already guess what's going to happen. Referee is just behind Sami Zayn. As Roman Reigns goes for the spear, Sami Zayn just moves out of the way. Reigns spears the referee. Now, you know some shenanigans are going to happen. You know? Why? Because the referee's knocked out. Every time the referee's knocked out, something's happening, okay? And also, it's referees, so somehow they're knocked out for, like, 3 days. So, you know, they've got some time to do some stuff, okay? KO and Sami start to get a bit of the advantage, and then the Usos pop out from the crowd and start attacking both KO and Sami Zayn, okay? They beat them up, blah, 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 and, you know, they do their, you know, chain of super kicks. And then as they're going to super kick Sami Zayn, okay, both Usos are going to super kick Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn ducks out of the way, and who was behind him? Solo Sikoa. People need to stop standing behind Sami Zayn. That is wild, okay? So it turns out that Jimmy and Jey Uso super kick Solo Sikoa, okay? As they do this, Roman Reigns sees it and is like, what are you doing, guys? And he gets very pissed. You know, he doesn't understand that it's a mistake. He gets into the ring. He's pissed at both of them. Goes to Jimmy, pushes him, get out of here. Goes to Jay, okay, that is on the other side. Go away, get out of my ring, stop doing blah, blah, blah. And then as he turns back, Jimmy Uso arrives to him and hits a super kick. It happened, okay? I love the glasses, by the way. Jimmy Uso super kicks Roman Reigns. Then there's, first of all, this big pop from the crowd. There is this insane reaction from Paul Heyman that I just love. And then third of all, there is Jay's reaction. You know, because Jay is conflicted. Of course, it's his own twin brother. He loves him more than anything in this world. But it's his tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And Jey Uso is the right-hand man to Roman Reigns. So he's confused. He's like, nah, don't tell me you just did that. You know, and he's confused and all. And Jimmy goes to Jay and he convinces him, I did what you had to do for years, for such a long time. It had to be done. Trust me, I'm here for you, blah, blah, blah. He's not your real blood. I'm your real blood, etc., etc. As they are real blood, but it's okay. Then he says, trust me, and goes to super kick Roman Reigns once again. Roman Reigns is knocked out of the ring. Jay is such in confusion. He tries to go check on Roman, but Jimmy is like, no, we gotta go. So the Usos get out, they get on the ramp and all. At this moment, the legal competitors are both Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn for each team. Solo Sikoa gets in the ring. Kevin Owens it's a stunner, throws him in the corner. Sami Zayn gets in the ring, hits the Aluva kick, puts him on the ground, cover. The referee comes in the ring, you know, a new referee, slides in the ring, 1, 2, 3, and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens retain. So it's the end. The end. Okay, I gotta stop. But it's the end of the Bloodline because of that, you know? As there was just this big betrayal, everybody's confused. They're like, what? There was no way, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, actually, it's the end of the Bloodline, okay? Well, technically, of course, you know. The Usos are on the ramp after this. They look extremely confused. They're like, what? There's no way. You know, well, Jay is very confused and he's like, you know, so many thoughts because he's, who should I side with and so many things. And then you have Jimmy that he's just, it had to be done, blah, blah, blah. Solo's shocked a little. Reigns is pissed and he doesn't understand. Zayn and Owens are just, woohoo, we're champions. And then Paul is, his reactions, man. I was watching the show with my father, and he just told me, honestly, they could do a whole show just on Paul Heyman's reaction, and honestly, yeah, that man has legendary reactions. But there it is, you know. Then, you know, as this is over, we've got to look at the future, okay? Because chances are that after this, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to, you know, move on to new things. They're going to go challenge new people like the Judgment Day or other tag teams. But they're going to stop this whole rivalry with the Bloodline, which is good, okay? Then what is next for Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, the Usos, and even Paul Heyman? SmackDown next week, there is the celebration from Roman Reigns' 1,000 days as Universal Champion. Well, this is what WWE announced, you know. I'm not so sure it's just going to be a celebration at this point, but it's probably going to be then that we'll get this big confrontation. Roman Reigns will probably ask for answers from Jimmy and even from Jay because Jay didn't defend him at all. And we'll have this big confrontation in the ring. We'll have Reigns and Solo on one side, and we'll have Jay and Jimmy on the other. Of course, Paul Heyman backing Roman Reigns. And then from that point, we embark on this big thing, on this big journey through the possible rivalry that could emerge from what Jimmy Uso did, you know? What's left to see is what's going to happen, which route are, you know, WWE going to decide to take. Are we going to have Roman Reigns versus Jimmy Uso for the championships? Is Jey Uso going to challenge Reigns again? Where does Jay's loyalty lie? You know, is it more with his brother? Is it more with his tribal chief? Same for Solo Sikoa. Because yes, he teamed up with Roman Reigns and he's always backing up Roman Reigns. But you gotta understand, Jey and Jimmy are his actual brothers, you know? As Roman Reigns is just his cousin. So maybe eventually Solo Sikoa will be like, well, I'm tired of Roman. And even with the thing where Reigns bumped into Solo and Solo looked at his shoulder and, you know, and Reigns was like frightened by Solo. That brings this opportunity of, you know, starting the rivalry and having more going on with all of this, you know? So I guess we'll just have to wait and see, you know? At this point, there is not much we can do. Just gotta wait and see, you know? But chances are that from this, okay, as I said in my video, go watch it, by the way, if you haven't, where I talk about this match, you know, I did my predictions and all. I said that this could be a good way to have challengers for Roman Reigns and have a storyline that will last a good amount of time, because rumors say that Roman Reigns will lose his championship next year at WrestleMania to like Cody Rhodes or something. So if you have this much amount of time to wait until Roman Reigns finally loses his titles, you need to book him, you know, all the way until then. And having this whole rivalry with the Bloodline, with Jay, with Jimmy, with Solo, with Paul, blah, 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 it's incredible, you know? You can have incredible storylines. You can bring people like Rikishi to talk about all of this. You can bring in any other members of the Anoa'i family, maybe even The Rock if you want to get some pretty good views. So yeah, that's what it's looking like at the moment, you know? And then as we get on and on, chances are that Roman Reigns will be alone in the end or just with Paul Heyman, you know? So, because most of the time, okay, in like most of his defenses, Roman Reigns retained his championships because either the Usos were there, because Solo Sikoa was there, and sometimes because Paul was there, okay? But then if we go to WrestleMania, okay, where Cody Rhodes challenges Roman Reigns for the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship, well, if Roman Reigns doesn't even have the Usos by his side, or not even Solo Sikoa, okay, and Paul, you know, probably not going to intervene anymore, that means it's a fair fight. Because remember, at WrestleMania, the past WrestleMania, WrestleMania 39, Cody Rhodes challenged Roman Reigns for the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship. But Cody lost. Why? Because of Solo Sikoa. If Solo Sikoa wasn't there, chances are we would have had a new champion. So if we look at next year's WrestleMania, if Roman Reigns has no one by his side, he has no one to protect him, to protect his championships, his legitimacy, it might be the hand of the tribal chief, you know? And it all started with Jimmy Uso. And this is wild, because this whole thing started with Jay, and it's going to end with Jimmy, and I just believe it was done perfectly, you know? Jimmy being the guy to finally be tired of all of this. Jay always being conflicted, whether it was back with Sami Zayn, when he joined Roman Reigns in 2020, or even now he's going to be conflicted between his brother or his cousin slash his tribal chief. So there's a lot going on, but it's gonna be interesting to see. A lot of people claim that the whole Bloodline storyline has been the best that WWE has put out in like the last decade or something, and I can agree with that, honestly. And we're getting closer and closer to the end of all of this, to this big chapter that was Roman Reigns, the tribal chief in the Bloodline. And it's incredible. Okay, maybe it's because I love the Usos, I love Roman Reigns, blah blah blah. But I think we're in for a big ride. Okay, it's the final ride, but it's the last chapter in the book, in my opinion, or it's soon gonna be. You know, we're in the last few chapters. Okay, we're getting towards the end of the book, and I honestly can't wait to see what the future holds. Okay, but I want to know what you guys think about it. Okay, first of all, did you like the whole Jimmy Uso turning on Roman Reigns? What do you think is gonna happen at Friday Night SmackDown? And third of all, what's going to be the rivalry, what's going to be the situation with all of this, you know, where does Jey Uso's loyalty lie and where does Sikoa's loyalties lie, sorry. So yeah, tell me in the comments, what are your thoughts? Even if you have questions or comments on all of this, I'll be more than happy to answer to you guys. Thank you for watching as always. I hope you enjoy WWE Night of Champions, and I'll see y'all in the next one.